Right, so this could be controversial, but the Tamiya Gravel Hound, in my opinion, is probably one of the best budget vintage cars you can get to go racing. So, I mean, I've had a look and you can pick these things up from anything like 50 quid. Obviously, I paid a lot more for this because I got it new in box. But I've now run it 2 times. And when it was out of the box, with a little bit of tweaking to the suspension, it was really good. And I've run it again this weekend at the Southlakes Model Car Club. And we got pole in the B final. All the cars that were in the A final, good drivers, and that's ultimately what sort of set everything apart. But this does drive really well on a carpet track. So one without lots of big jumps is probably what's helping it. But I've done very little to this as well at the moment. So we'll take the body off. So obviously we've got brushless setup in there. We've got the Amy Booth models, 10.5 turn. We're running blinky, so there's no boost or turbo. And then in terms of upgrades, obviously we've got a carbon fibre front shock tower. And I've just chucked on some Schumacher big bores because they're what I had to hand. I've had to space them out a little bit further than what comes with it. So the ones that come with it, same as on the back, they just sit out that far. But yeah, this thing drives absolutely great. I'll put some footage of it out on the track just after this. But this is just a quick video to show that you can have a lot of fun racing and you don't have to spend a lot of money. Obviously, the electric's in there. You run what you're normally going to run. But one change I did make, I normally run the low centre of gravity batteries that fit in there nicely. I've got some ultra low centre of gravity, and ultimately they're around about 100 grams lighter. So you just have to pad it out a little bit with some foam. But it did go a lot better with a lighter battery. Obviously, because you can't run any boost or turbo, getting rid of a bit of weight is pretty damn good. Setup wise, it's fairly stiff, it's fairly low, so you can see that it's got very little droop, but obviously we've only got one little kicker jump, and the only thing that I'm going to change on the back is stiffening up the back because it just seemed to collapse. So coming out of corners, the back was just collapsing, it was just lifting up this inside wheel. And tyre wise, the fronts, they could probably do with being replaced, but we've got the shards on the front. I'll order another set, but for now these have been running absolutely fine. And I've got the Azami on the back, and these have done 2 race meetings now, and they look pretty much like they did from new. Loads of grip on these, no issues, definitely a lot better in terms of wear than the Cactus. So yeah, it just goes to show you don't have to spend a lot of money on your vintage car if you're just racing indoors, having a bit of fun. I'm not a big fan of the indoor racing. Anyone that knows me will know that I prefer off-road. But yeah, so I'm still on my hiatus from anything Schumacher this year, so I've not got much longer to go, but I'm starting to work on the Cougar and the Procat. They're going to be going out next year. I've got the Euromasters out in Germany, so I'll be taking those 2. And we've got the Jingle Bells at the end of this month, where I'm going to be running the Terra Scorcher and the Dynastorm. But yeah, just a quick little update on how the Gravel Hound's going, and I'm absolutely loving it. So the rear carbon shock tower, I got these off eBay. I'll see if I can get a link for them, but they just have a little bracket. I haven't got the best lighting in here, but there's a little bracket that just goes on across there, so it just screws in with the 2 screws at the back, and then you've got an extra little bracket just to help it, and it just makes that nice and sturdy. But quick little update. So we will have this out again in 2 weeks' time, and we'll see how it goes with a little bit more work on the suspension setup. But that's it. So I'll put some footage on it on the track. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon.
The running order at 4 minutes is 1, 2, 4, 6, 5.